What is up, everyone? In this video we're going to be going over my 93 Nissan 240SX, everything that I've done to it throughout the past videos and everything, and over the year-long break I took from YouTube. I'm going to show you guys what the car looks like right now currently, and basically the starting platform for my future content. So let's get to it. And I guess getting right into it, I'll start off with some exterior mods. So I just got stock hood, stock headlights, but it is running like a tube front. So I had a tube front. If you guys were watching a video where I had the accident with the wall, my front end was destroyed, and the Rose factory hooked me up with a really nice front end that the front end actually comes off and it's way easier to pull the motor, which we've actually had to use that in the past year, so it definitely helps a lot. Coming off the front end, I have Origin Type 3 front fenders, which are the 55mm, which I believe. So that's what we're running over here. I do have a KBD front bumper that goes on, and then that is a Rose factory bash bar also that complements the front end that Melvin did for me. But yeah, so I'm running KBD and Origin Type 3 up front, KBD side skirts. There is supposed to be a Type 3 rear over fender right here too. It's in the shed. It needs to be repaired. I was hitting this new little course at the local Piedmont track, and let's just say I kept oversending it into rear clipping like tires and stuff like that, and had a little bit of damage right here in the rear quarter panel, just clipping the tires and stuff, and it also took my KBD rear bumper off. So, and that's like right there, it's still in good condition, just zip ties broke. I want to figure out a good way to mount the KBD rear bumper, because that shit just, I don't want to bolt it to the car when I know I'm going to be clipping stuff and whatever. So that's what I'm running on the rear as far as like body work. So that's what the rear fenders sort of look like. I love how that flare goes, like I just love that shit. So yeah, KBD and Origin Type 3s. I'm running a BCL Big Country Lab wing. I'm pretty sure, I don't know what these end plates are. I actually got the whole wing set up as it is off my buddy Nicholas. This side is missing it because of, yeah, tire wall clipping shit. Car hasn't really took that bad of damage, I guess. I mean, it was dented in. I pulled it out as much as I could. Probably could pull it out a little bit more, honestly. But yeah, so this whole side is like the side that needs some work now. It was the driver's side for the longest time, because when I bought the car like almost 10 years ago, this whole side was bashed in from the previous owner. And we got it pretty straight. The door is still a little, it's not flat, but I mean, it looks pretty good. So coming off of the body stuff, because I think that's all I'm really changed about the car. Everything else is still OEM, like taillights and everything. As you guys can see, I have the ISR 3-inch dual blast pipes, and I do run a full ISR system all the way down, like even ISR test pipe underneath the car, all the way to the stock OEM NAKA ISR headers. So ISR all the way for my exhaust. I want to switch it up and get something a little bit more quiet, I guess. I've been told I have like a really loud KA. I wonder if that has something to do with me having it bored over, like the blocks bored over and everything, and the I don't know, just my Ford's internal setup and whatever. I mean, it's a NAKA, used to be turboed. I have been told it is like a pretty loud NAKA for what it is. I didn't think it was like any different, but I've heard a lot of people say it's a lot louder than the usual NAKAs. So yeah, I sort of want to quiet it down a little bit, maybe throw a muffler where the test pipe is underneath. Yeah, that's what future plans for it. I want the car to be more enjoyable when I'm street driving it and not just on the track. I like a rowdy car, but at the same time I want something more enjoyable. But yeah, before we go into the engine bay, we can go over my suspension. So it's really hard to see, you can't really see everything underneath the car, but I'll just go over the suspension, starting with the tires and wheels and everything. Okay, so for tires, I like to run Federals up front, and then the rear tires, I really don't give a fuck that much, but everyone swears by Kendas, so I might try Kendas in the future for my rear grippy tire. The thing is though, I'm NAKA and these are some big wheels, and so far it's been very difficult for me to like learn how to like actually get this thing sideways. So I just run like whatever I run in the rear and just pump the PSI up super fucking high. So that's tires. I'm running some Working Motions T7Rs. This damn bird, you guys, it's pissing me off. So I'm running some Working Motion T7Rs, and I love these wheels so much. The specs for these wheels are 18 by 9.5 plus 12 offset, I believe. So they do make an 18 by 10, I think, with a lower offset than 12, but I didn't get those. I got like the next step up from that. So there is another set of like these type of wheels just with like a higher or a lower offset, like more aggressive, but I actually did not get those. I got these, which they do the job. I like them a lot. And then going from the wheels in, I basically run like ISR everything. So I run the ISR Pro Model tow rods. I do this because, see that little notch right there? I'm not sure if you guys can see that, but the tow rods actually have a notch so that when you're low to the ground, you won't like bottom out on your tow rod, because my last ones, I did that. And then of course I have the rear upper control arms by ISR, which I like those a lot too. And then right here, those purple things, those are the Offbeat Garage solid subframe riser bushing things. I got that just to sort of eliminate some wheel hop and sort of have a more solid ride. So that should be it with the rear of the car. The rear end. Up front, you guys might be able to see the suspension a little bit better since my wheel wells are cut out. But also in the rear, since the front up here reminded me, I have a ISR sway bars front and rear. I have ISR tension rods right there, and those are the Pro Model also, so they're like concaved. They go past the sway bar. So if I like get an angle kit in the future, which I don't have an angle kit currently, let's say a lot of people's wheels come and hit the sway bar or the tension rod itself, my tension rods will be out of the way. If I'm gonna hit anything, it's gonna be the sway bar from what it looks like. So I got the slanty wheels up front with the camber, and how I got that is the Rose Factory extended lower control arms. So that's this. Melvin did a good job with those. And then I got Maxima 2003 Maxima tie rods, I believe. So, and that's how you get that slanted look, so that when you're at full angle or whatever, your wheel is actually straight, and you're actually getting a full contact patch on the tires and the road and stuff. So yeah, I also am running the BCBR coilovers up front and in the rear. I've actually had these coilovers for like the longest time. I've had them for about 4 years now, I think, maybe a little bit longer, and they get the job done, you guys. So I totally recommend BC coilovers. I'm not just saying that because I'm off the YouTube hype and stuff, but they actually were a pretty good set. If I were to make a switch to anything, it'd definitely be most likely Fortunato from what I've seen, but yeah, the BCs are definitely holding up, and they're just like the cheapest model, the BR series, I believe. So yeah, that's what I'm running up front. Okay, now that suspension is all out of the way, let's tackle the engine bay since we're right here. Okay, so for the average person, this just looks like an NAKA, a stock NAKA. Well, if you followed along on the last videos, you guys know that I built the block with Wiseco pistons and Manley rods and did the whole shebang. So the block is fully built. The head is stock, but that's the engine mods for you guys basically. It's just the built bottom end with a overbore. I did a 40 thousandths overbore on the block, so it's running about a 90 millimeter bore, which was, I think stock it's 89 millimeters, something like that. So yeah, that's the engine. So I'm running just a random intake with a AEM dry flow, since I have like open tubs and stuff. If it's like a rainy day, that actually gets the job done pretty well. Like it doesn't, this allows your like intake to actually pull air through, but it sort of handles like rain and stuff like that, so like beads off. I'm running for my cooling system the ISR performance cooling package or whatever. So I have the fans, the fan shroud that they make, also electric fans at that, and then just a radiator. I don't run a clutch fan I just don't like the look and the accessibility that you have with it. Like, you don't have any room to like reach your arm down there and shit like that. So yeah, I went with the electric fans, and they are doing an awesome job cooling my KA. So I love those. I'm running a Southern Hooning limited edition water reservoir overflow tank, whatever you want to call it. I actually fabricated this myself with the help of my buddy Eric. So yeah, that was like my first time like ever aluminum welding, and I'd have to say it came out pretty nice, except for up here. It's a little messy, but it works. It does the job, and it's pretty awesome that I got to fab something for my own car. So that was like one of the first projects I've ever done, and yeah. So digging deeper into the engine bay, I got a 6-speed, I'm pretty sure, yeah, 6-speed catch can with a 8AN line running to the valve cover and then down into the PCV. So that's what the catch can is routed like, PCV and then valve cover. I'm running an ISR fuel pressure regulator, as you guys can see down there. That shit is so fucking old. That regulator is super old, and I really want to just like upgrade to something else, like maybe an AEM or something, or maybe just another ISR one, because it hasn't really failed me for the past 4 or 5 years. I'm running a random eBay vacuum manifold, which I love that thing because I don't have to like track down vacuum ports when I was turbo and stuff. I just literally just plug anything that needed vacuum right there. So what you do is you basically just cut your brake booster line in line and then just plug that in to both sides, and yeah, that's how it works. And then you just pull vacuum straight from there. Over here on the brake booster, I'm running the Chase Bays stainless lines, so I don't have all those ugly hard lines going back there, except for that one for the clutch, which I want to have that swapped out to a stainless line sooner or later, because it just looks way cleaner without the hard lines and everything. Just run the stainless lines, and they just like go to where they need them to go, and it looks really nice. Right here, I'm running a, pretty sure it says Blue Sea. It's like a distribution block type thing, so I have all my 12 volt power coming off this. So anything 12 volt, I have that line right there. It comes from the battery, since my battery's relocated into the trunk, and everything that needs power that's off the harness up front, it gets tied into that. So it has like one set location where I can just tie it straight into that and just like bolt right up. You just gotta solder the tips of your wires with like the right connector fittings and stuff, and yeah, just everything bolts right up. This top it should just pop right off right here, and then yeah, it's like a bus bar type thing. I'm pretty sure that's what you call it, a bus bar. And everything that's hooked up to this, that is like 12 volt power. I'm also running, they're super greased up, probably can't even tell, ISR polyurethane engine motor mounts. So that's it for the most part with the engine compartment. I mean, the last videos, like right before I took my year hiatus, I did the whole wire tuck, so there's no harness around the tube front and all that ugly mess. So if you guys want to learn how to tuck your harness and have a clean engine bay like that and just have the engine harness itself, check that video out, because I went as much into detail as I could to help you guys, and it turned out freaking awesome. Moving on, now we are on to the inside of the car. Okay, and right off the bat, you guys see my Garage Moon Power floor mats, stock door cards. Majority of the seats are stock. I actually did pull these out of like an S13, a different one, a coupe. I mean, they're still OEM. My dash is now flocked, which I never got to show you guys that. I was in the middle of doing it, and I had a video explaining how I flocked it and getting rid of cracks and stuff in my dash. My dash was cracked all to hell, like it was starting to really bad. So I had fixed all the cracks. I was gonna make a video, and I did make a video, and I lost all the footage. And I'm sort of glad that I lost all the footage, because I'm actually getting all of my cracks back. You can't really see them that well, like from the camera, but if you're in person, you can just like look straight up here, and there's like the same exact cracks that I had fixed. I guess the heat and everything just got to them again, and they just reopened back up. So that fucking sucks. But I mean, from afar, the dash looks really nice. I sort of like the glossy look that it has, like the OEM look, better than the flock dash. But again, the flock dash did its job for like a little bit. It feels nice. It's sort of, everyone asks me how do you clean it, and I haven't cleaned it yet, so I don't know. Because you can't just like wipe it down with Armor All, or like you can't wipe it down period, because like if you use any type of cloth or anything, it's just like the flocking and like pulls fibers off that, and then it makes it look shitty. So I'm thinking you might want to lint brush it, maybe. That might be a good tactic, maybe like just, or blowing it off with like an air compressor or something maybe. But yeah, so that's the flock dash. It turned out pretty decent, except for the cracks coming back. That sort of just sucked. But yeah, I did have a boost gauge here, and then I did have a coolant gauge right here, and I don't have those anymore because the coolant gauge sort of was starting to take a shit, and then I don't have boost, so I just took the boost gauge out and left my air fuel ratio gauge, which does its job all the time. It lets me know if I'm running lean or rich, whatever. I can track down problems a lot quicker than the average Joe. I have a eBay quick release steering wheel set, and that has held up for almost 5 years now, drifting and all. So pretty happy about that. I sort of want to get a cooler wheel, but they're just so freaking pricey, and it's like, yeah, a wheel is super important. That's why they're pricey. Like, you don't want your wheel to just like fall apart, but I don't know, this eBay wheel is like 30-40 bucks. It's doing the job pretty good. So I'll keep on driving with that. It's not a big necessity to get like some fancy wheel. I got a drift button off eBay a long time ago. I got a Aluminium Flux. It's pretty nifty. I like it. Shift knob has like the cherry blossom trees right here. And I love the color combo. I love the freaking mint jade teal look, and then the pink or purple. Like, looks really nice. So all this purple and stuff, I hand wrapped that, and that was like my first ever time trying to wrap something with vinyl, and it was shitty vinyl at that. So it's been bubbling up and looking pretty shitty throughout the years. But I plan to like pull all these parts out and repaint them. It'd be dope to go I forgot what company does it, but they do like the carbon fiber, and they color the carbon fiber like red, purple, and all that type of shit. It'd be cool to do the carbon fiber, like legit carbon fiber purple, like center bezels and shit like that for like trim pieces. But again, that shit's pricey, and it's not a super big necessity to me right now. So the rear of the car is gutted out. There's the battery right there. Fire extinguisher for events. Harness bar, energy harness bar. I sort of don't recommend this one, at least. I think they make different lengths and stuff for different cars and stuff. I think I picked the wrong one, because those base plates are supposed to be sitting flat against the pillars of the car, like the side of the car, and they don't sit flat at all. So it's, I'd hate to say it's in here just for looks, or just to have the harness bar on something, or have the harness connected to something. And I don't even think I have the harness hooked up right either. One of my buddies was telling me about that. I need to fix that ASAP, because it is like a safety thing. But yeah, so I don't really recommend the energy harness bar, and I probably need to do something about that soon. Oh snap, and before I forget, this is like probably my favorite mod about like the whole starting my car and everything. But because my exhaust is so fucking loud, you can't really hear it, but I fucking love this thing. So take this, turn the car on, like the ignition and shit. And you have to wait a little bit, so just bear with me. So yeah, that's a freaking, this thing right here. This is like electronic card reader. It's like a toll reader thing from Japan. I actually had to have this imported in. I haven't really found a place that you can buy them in the US, because in the US we don't use these. So I wired this up, and I mean, I'm pretty sure in Japanese it's just saying insert card or some shit like that. But I don't know, just little shit like that where it's like something JDM and speaking. It's silly that we sort of buy shit like that, but I don't know, I just fucking love it. It's like a new Japanese feel, because like, I don't know, I guess cars in Japan, if you got the toll reader thing, you start your car up and you actually hear that thing. So it's cool to have it in the car and just like hear the little Japanese girl talk. Another cool thing that I forgot to mention is right here. Since I did the wire tuck that's out there, I have all of my fuses and everything right here. So anything I need to pull out, like fuse wise, I can just like sort of pull this out a little bit, and like I can pull fuses and shit from inside the car. And it shuts. And that's where my fuse boxes are, right there. So they're not all up in the freaking engine bay, making the engine bay ugly and shit. So that's what I got going on here. So yeah, I'm running the G-Force harnesses on both sides, but I also have the OEM seatbelt and everything retractor thing on this side, just for when we're going street driving and stuff like that, that whoever is riding passenger with me doesn't have to use the harness all times. I fucking love the harness. Like, it just makes me feel like a fucking race car driver. So yeah. So I think that is like legit everything that has been ever done to the 240, or that's just the current 240 right now behind me. If you guys like this video, please do leave a like and also subscribe. And I guess I'll see you guys in the next video. We're probably gonna be doing something to the 240, or maybe even going over what is right here. If you guys watched the last video, you could probably tell what the fuck is underneath this tarp right here behind me. So yeah, stay tuned for the next video, you guys. I'm trying to post and get back into a routine of like doing at least like a weekly video. So stay tuned for next week, you guys, and I guess I'll see you guys then. So later.